Hello to you and welcome into this nutrition masterclass. So, quick presentation myself. So, I'm Guillaume. I'm an engineer, a nutritionist, and online fitness. So, before I'm going to present you my tool, my optimal plate, I wanted to give you a quick masterclass on nutrition for you to understand where it comes from and why I developed this application, my optimal plates. So, before you want to lose fat or to gain muscle, it is important to understand what is a calorie and what are macros. So this is the foundation of nutrition, of precision nutrition. So what is a calorie? So a calorie is used by your body in order to for your heart rate, for your every time you breathe in or breathe out or every movement. So this is how your body function and is going to use calories. And then every time you're going to eat food is going to bring also calorie in. So in order to again to optimize your muscle gain or your fat loss, you have to understand this energy balance. So every calories that goes in and every calories that goes out. So if you want to lose fat, then you will need to be in a calorie deficit. So your calorie in will be lower than your calorie out, for example. So understanding this, the calorie, we have to understand from where they are coming from. So they are coming from three macronutrients, which are protein, carbs, and fats. So these macronutrients will make up the calories. So how they will make up those calories? So for 1 gram of proteins, you're going to get 4 kilocalories. So this will help you to build muscle, reduce the hunger, and speed the recovery. Then the fats. So for 1 gram of fat, you're going to get 9 kilocalories. Fats support hormones, brain function, and very important for the body is not to neglect. And then the carbs. So it's going to be 4 kilocalories. So carbs are also very important in order to fuel your workout and to for your recovery. And there is also the body main preferred energy source of energy. So there's a fourth one, which is alcohol. So alcohol is for 1 gram of alcohol, you're going to get 7 kilocalories. So this is important to understand as well when you drink alcohol, but this providing no nutrients comparing to the protein, fats, and carbs. So the formula in order to calculate the total calorie you're going to ingest during a meal or during a day is to get the number of gram of proteins multiplied by 4 plus the number of gram of carbs multiplied by 4 and the number of gram of fat multiplied by 4, and this will get you your total intake calories. So the problem with this is that most of the people, they're going to guess what they're going to eat and they get wrong ratio or wrong uh, portion. So it means they're going to get wrong results according to the goal. So if it's to build muscle or to lose fat. So the challenge here is to get your exact target of calories. This depending on the three macronutrients, so protein, fat, and carbs. And if you understand that if you have different foods, this can lead to thousands or 10,000s of even millions of different combinations in order to get the right amount of calories at the end of the day. So this is why I created my optimal plate. So it's an automated meal planner that will be powered by millions of calculation in order to find the right combination between the foods portion in order to match your exact macro needs, so protein, fat, and carbs, and then obviously at the end of the day, your number of calories. So one example I wanted to show you to explain you how my optimal plate is working is to give you like a visual example. So for example, for a breakfast, my goal will be to get 920 calories with 60 grams of proteins, 40 grams of fat, and 80 grams of carbs. So I will get 5 food in order to achieve those uh, my macronutrients and then at the end the calories. So here, for example, you have your breakfast where you need to achieve 60 grams of proteins, 40 grams of fat, and 80 grams of carbs. So this will give you, if you apply the formula that we just seen, it will give you 920 kilocalories. So here, what I want to do is to get the different food that I will want to have for my breakfast. So for example, eggs, butter, bread, kiwi, and yogurt. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to define to set portion for those food And then I want to calculate, I want to scale all of those food like 5 times, for example. So this will get me 3,125 combination. So for example here, so we're going to scale my eggs, and it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then it's going to give me those macronutrients in grams. So for the protein, fat, and carbs. So I'm going to do that for all of my uh, foods here. So for my 5 foods, so here I have butter, bread, kiwi, and yogurt. And then the idea here is to find the best combination of the number of portion of my food in order to get for my breakfast, so my 60 grams of proteins, 40 grams of fat, and 80 grams of carbs. So you understand the problem here is to create all the combination possible. So again, 3,125 combination. So here's going to be done automatically, and the result is the following in yellow here. So I'm just going to put that there down. So the result is in yellow here. So here I'm going to get 4 eggs, or 4 times my 10 grams of eggs portion, 5 teaspoon of butter. So this is the numbers here are just for example, it's not real numbers. And then for the bread, so 5 portion, kiwi 4 portion, and then yogurt 2 portion. So here's the result of each of how many times I need to eat those portion in order uh, in order to um, match my goal. So so here we got the food again here. So, and then we got the result. So here we got 8 grams of protein. So this is what we have here. 4 grams of fat and 12 grams of carbs for my 4 portion of 10 grams of eggs. So I'm going to do that for each of my different food here, and then to calculate the total. And then we can see here, we get a number of the 59 grams of protein, 39 grams of fat, and 82 grams of carbs. So here you can see that by combining the number of portion of each of the different food, you can actually match your exact portion. So what does it mean for you? It means that with my optimal plate and with your goal that you set and the food you're going to select, you will be able to match exactly your macro needs, and then at the end your energy needs. So if I go back to my slides, okay, I'm just going to bring it back here like that. So if I go back to my slide, so at the end, it's going to give me the perfect meal with the right number of portion for each of the food I select. With my optimal plate, you will be able to send the result straight to your phone, and then there's no maths, no guesswork. It's going to give you exactly what you need to eat in order to reach your goal. So this will help you to lose fat or to gain muscle, the most optimized way for each of your different meal. So the core message here that I want to give also is that it's not about eating less, but it's about to eat right. You need to get your right macronutrients, protein, fat, and carbs in order to speed up your recovery, to fuel your workout, and to reach your goal. So again, if it's to burn fat or build muscle. Okay, so now I'm going to present you my optimal plate. So I'm just going to open it. So my optimal plate is a licensed product, so you will get a activation key when you will get my optimal plate, and then it will be like a licensed product. So I'm just going to open it here. So you need to access license condition, and then it's going to open the application. Okay, so now it's loading the application. Okay, so once you log into the application, so you will come on the index tab where you will have access to all of the different. So for example, if I click here, then you go and see to this tab, and then you can go back at every tab. You can click on my logo, my the body optimization, and it will bring you to the index tab. So we'll go through the different tab rapidly, and then I will show you how you can build your meal and in order to match your and select your food in order to match your exact macro needs. So first is the right and distribution introduction. So here it's going to explain you all the different calculation and how to use my optimal plate with all the different parameter. Then the set goal. So this is for all of the different macronutrient and macronutrient, micronutrient needs, so all the fat composition, the different minerals, the vitamins, so on and so forth. So here you can define your uh, lower limit and the upper limit, and then you can select the one percentage in order to select if you want which range you want to be, if it's the upper limit or the lower limit. Okay. So all that is automated. There is nothing to do with this. Then you can also s- so you can in my optimal plate. So you can either define your meal that I'm going to show you in a minute, or you can also track your food. So for example, here I got some example where I select breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You have also like snack, and then you can select the food. So here is also you can select by the portion. So it's also it's not only like weight, so you don't need to weight everything, but it's also by portion. So for example, banana, half avocado. You can define all that. Eggs, number of eggs. So here, for example, I'm going to change the how many eggs I want to put here, and then I will select maybe like 7 eggs. Okay, and then you will see that everything will be recalculated automatically for the day, and then the graph will be also updated automatically to see how much of your goal is reached for each of the different days. So there I give an example for 3 weeks, and you can see here all the different parameters that we have into my optimal plate. So here it's going to give you the percentage of the goal for each of the different days that you reach for all of the different macronutrients. So again, minerals, fat composition, and vitamins. And then here you can see like the different graph for your protein, fat, carbs, and your kilocalories for comparing to your daily goal that I will show you where we're going to set it. So let's go now to the parameter, and I will show you like how you can define your actual meal and the different parameter that you have. So first you have to put your email address. So this is in order to send the results straight to your phone. You need to put your name, and then you have to put your different parameters. So if it's your like your date of birth, your weight, your estimated body fat, height, sex, and then you have the choice between choosing how you can calculate your BMR. So the BMR is the number of calories that your body need to function just to stay alive, just to stay alive. So here, this BMR, you can also take it uh, from a scale that impedance scale that will give you your BMR. So here, select this model, and then you select your activity level. So here, for example, you do sports 1 to 3 times a day. So here you want to fat loss. So here you define your goal. So if you want to be in a muscle gain or fat loss with the calorie surplus or deficit. So either it's in uh, relative or absolute. And then the protein calculation. So this is where you're going to define of how much protein you want to eat during the day regarding to your weight. So this is either in pound or in grams per kilograms of body weight. Okay. Then you're going to select your fat. So here you can select from 10 to 100. And then in order to calculate the number of grams, you will want according so relative to the total number of calories, and then the third macronutrient. So carbs will be the remaining calories after the proteins calculation and the fat calculation. So you can do any modification here, and then it will be updated on the fly. So you can see the graph. So here I'm going to put like more proteins, so on and so forth. So here, and then I can choose here, for example, standard or slightly higher for the uh, number of fat. Okay, so I go back to high. Okay, And then the idea is once you calculate those macros, so 180, 158 grams and 58 grams of your different macros, so protein, fat, and carbs, then you're going to select how you want to distribute those macro across your different meals. So here you can, so here you can have like a balanced approach. So for a breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then here you can see the split. But you can, so for example, myself when I go to train in the morning, so I select training before my breakfast, and then I'm going to use this distribution, which is the most optimal one after you're going to train in the morning. So if you train, for example, in the evening, so you're going to get this distribution, so more proteins, less fat, and more carbs on the dinner. So this in order to fuel your recovery of your evening training. So here's one parameter to tell you if you want to include all the food you select or not, specially in order to find the best combination, like I explained you with my example. And then here you going to select the so this is the number of the scaling of the food. So you remember in the example I choose 5 scaling. Okay, so this is 5, but here you can go up to 15. So if you select 15, it's going to be a bit slower, like because it's going to perform like millions of calculation so here I'm just going to stay maybe I'm going to select 9, and then for one day is going to generate me 177,000 calculation, and going to select the best combination for your breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Okay, so here it's according to the goal, what I explained you. So you got the low range and the high range, and then in function of that and your sex, you going to select your percentage in each of the uh, fat composition, um, vitamins, and minerals. Okay, so here I'm going to select it to 80%. Okay, and how I'm going to perform my calculation now. So I'm going to go into this tab where I'm going to uh, actually select my food. So here you get for my breakfast, I selected like everything is automated when you select the food. So for example, if you did it there, and then you can update the portion here, and then it will select the portion. So it's a bit like it's going to remember the portion you gave, and then to save it. And then once you select the food, you don't need to put the portion again. So for example, here if I select eggs, like that. Not this one, yeah. So for example, this one, eggs or um, hard-boiled eggs, for example, like that. And then it will select the portion automatically. So for example, here, if I put like honey, then it will automatically select the latest portion you have selected. So here, for example, if I put a teaspoon, and then I'm going to update the portion. Okay, and then if I delete that, and then I select now the honey, and update portion, then it will show me, it will give me this one this time. So the same, so here is going to be the same for the food you select. You can also create favorite meal. So for the breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then for example, if I remove all that, the I'm gonna remove the, and then I'm going to select my my first favorite breakfast. Then it's going to give me automatically the portion and the food and the portion. So here you understand, like in purple is the actual result of the thousands and thousands of calculation in order to match your macro needs. So for example here, and then you can see the results. So the weight of the food, you have the protein, fat, carbs, and the calories. Okay, and here this is how it match my macro needs. So the same here for the lunch. So here we can see the result. So again, this is calculated. One thing that you can do also is you can fix here. You get a small button. You can just fix the portion. So for the food you select, you can fix the portion to 1 if you click on this button. So for example, here I want to select only one portion of let's say of walnuts, and then I'm just going to click here, and then it's going to set the walnuts to 1, and then it will calculate all the combination for the other foods, and then update the results. Okay, so once I define my meal like that, okay, so what you can do also from here, you can click here on analyze, and then it will show you. So this is like the heart of where we perform all the calculation, and you can do some analysis here. So for example, you can also change any of the parameters, and then it will recalculate all the results on the fly. So for example, if you want to change the number of proteins per kilogram of body weight, you can change here, and then all the graph and all the calculation will be applied on the fly. So here it's quite convenient if you want to do some adjustment, and then to do analysis on the code. So I'm just going to put it back here. And then if you want to apply those parameters, you will need to click on this button to apply the parameter changes, or if you change the food, to apply the food changes. And then you can go back to your meal plan. So here also you understand that you can, so here you have the food that is calculated, and here you have the fixed food. So for example, so I'm just going to update the portion here. And then if I want to, I know for sure that I want to eat a banana, then I will just select or half a banana, then I will select pulp here, and then you can see here, so by default is the portion is banana, and then the portion here is 1. So I say I want to select to eat half of a banana, for example, and then so here you can see that the carbs is too much higher, so I want to delete maybe the apricot here. Okay, and then also I can delete I can leave it like that. So we have a bit more carbs, so 120%, 28%, but that's fine. So, okay, and then you can do the same for the lunch. And so once you define your meal, and then all the combination have been calculated on the fly, you can send that by email. So just by clicking on this button here. Okay, so here what you do is going to compile, take all the results, so the graph, and then all the results, and then we'll send it by email. Okay, so if I go to my emails, I'm just going to wait for it to be sent. Okay, so here, there you go. So I just got the email, and then you can see here, so hey, so it's going to put hey your name, and then you will get the different results. So here you get the your macro goals, so for the protein, fat, carbs, and then the distribution across the your different meal, and then here you're going to get the results. So remember the 128%. So for your protein, fat, carbs, and calories, so across the breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then here it will give you the food. So here it will be directly on the phone. Um, Directly on the phone with those information. So you don't need to be on the laptop. You can just go in the kitchen with your phone, and then you will get all the results in order to prepare your meal. Okay, so here you get more detail, more parameter. You have also the list of food where you're going to get the weight for each of the food that you need to get for the day, and then the price. And then here you get all the graph, and then more uh, analysis for each of the different macro and micro nutrients. Okay, so you can also adjust the tab here, so you can get a more compact view if you don't use the fixed food. So for example, like that, and then you can create your meal directly like this, and you can also adjust vertically. So here, if you click here, so then you're going to get more detail on your different meal. So we get here the PDCS. So this is the proteins, quality of the proteins. the glycemic index, insulin index, satiety index, PRAL, so this is the acidity, so this is an important parameter to look at also, and then the price for the different meals. So again here, if I want to add or to reselect my first meal here, breakfast, and then you see everything is calculated on the fly. So I'm going to remove the banana here. Okay, and then I'm going to readjust horizontally. So just to get the portion for the view to get for the with the fixed food. Okay, so this is for one day, but you can also create your 7-day meal plan. So how are you going to do that? So here you get also the your favorite food so that you can select here. And then for each of the days, so when you want to recalculate to perform the calculation in order to get the best combination of your different food, you will need to activate your the day. So you're just going to click there, and then it will activate the day so that you will be able to perform the calculation for this particular day. Okay, so here you can select again your different favorite food. So you can select this one, for example. So this is the number 2. And then you see that, oh, this is the one I just selected, or this one, and then you will see that the calculation are going to be performed on the fly. So here, for example, there you go. So here we get those values for those food. Okay. Then you can also send by email. So any day you want to create here. So you can also it can help you to store like different your meal that you like, and then you can just create them and then to store them. And then you can send by so same as before, you can send by email the uh, the the day you want. And you can also recalculate everything. So by clicking there, it will recalculate all the different days. So if you perform change on the food and then you want to recalculate everything, it will recalculate everything on the go. So it takes like 1 or 2 minutes. So I'm just going to show you like rapidly. So here you got like a bar that shows the progress. So this is for one day, 14%, 29%, and then so on and so forth. So you can calculate. I'm going to stop it there, but then calculate the best portion for all of the different food for all of the different days. And then you can send the results. So it's going to ask you if you want to recalculate. Just going to say no. And then it's going to compile all the results for all of the different days. And it's going to send you again by email on your phone or by email in order for you to get the results of all the different day uh, on the phone. So you can define one time all the food and the portion, and then recalculate all the combination, and then send you that and you get your meal plan for the week adjusted exactly to according to your macro needs. Okay, I will show you that once it's compiled. So you get here the list of food for your week, and then you got some analysis of the different goal for each of the different meal of the week. So here it's all the different results. You get all for each of the different day of the week. You get uh, uh, the results for your goal. So here you got in grams or milligrams according to a microgram in function uh, of the micronutrients here, and then here you get the percentage of your goal reach for each of the micronutrients, and then you can go there, and then there it will give you a view of if you eat those food for all the week, then it give you an overview of how much of each of the macronutrients, protein, fat, carbs, minerals, vitamins, and uh, fat composition it will give you. Okay, here you got a detail. I'm just going to show you the email here. So my 7 day, so I received it. So here you got all your different parameters. Okay, and then you got for Monday, so you got your breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then the total for Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Okay, Sunday. Okay, so here you got all the breakdown. And then here you got your list of food for the week. So this is very convenient if you want to plan in advance all the food you will need to get for your week. So this is the list of food. You got the price, the weight, and so on and so forth. Okay, so here you got a bit more insight of the on the results and how the different parameter have been calculated for protein, fat, carbs, and then you get the fat composition where you can select also the different ratio here. So like omega-3, omega-6, mono, polyunsaturated fats, um, so on and so forth. Okay, so here you get also more detail on the on once you create your once you create your plan. So this can be for any days of the week, or it can be for the 1 day plan. So here's what we had, and then you can see so the yesterday macro. So this is you also can adjust regarding the food you ate the day before to adjust your macro if you want to get to compensate your yesterday macro needs. And then here you can see, so this is the for the breakfast, lunch, dinner. Then we have uh, the fixed food here, but I don't have any fixed food. And then here you got the total remaining, and then what you need to calculate what the algorithm need to calculate, and then the results, and then here you got the total results for the day. Okay. Here you got a summary for each of the different micro and macronutrients. Here's the graph of the result of the day. And then what I wanted to show you is the different tool that we have into my optimal plate. So here's all the different foods. So you have more than 1,700 food, I think, and you can obviously add your own food uh, to this list. Okay. So here you got different tools that you can that are I think very useful if you want to do some analysis. So you can select any macronutrient, micronutrient. So for example, vitamin K2 here, and then you can select if it's ascending or descending. So here is going to be in descending, and then you can see for each of the for this macronutrient, for example, the food that contain the most of it and how much grams you will need to eat in order to reach your goal. Okay, and then it tell you like more common name, why it's important for health, problem if deficient, problem if excessive. So this for all of the different uh, vitamin, so on and so forth. Okay, so here you can compare the ratio um, of two different parameter, and then you can sort it out also. So this is the tool. So here you can also have a tool in this tool you can compare two foods and the differences. So for example, here is very useful for example, here you get the beef, if it's cooked or not, and then we can see the differences. So here you can see that from the cook you have much less macro nutrients for example. So here you get um, uh, yeah, so here for sorry, you have more in the cooked one. So for example, here you have 7.1 saturated fats. Here you have 5.7. So, but if I take the vitamins, here you're going to get much more vitamins if you get the raw meat. Okay, so here you can see, for example, retinol is going to be much more in the raw. So here you can also use equivalent, these are equivalent tools. So in this example here, I select the kiwi, one kiwi, and then this is the weight, protein, fat, carbs, and the total amount of calories. And then I want to equivalent, if I don't want to eat a kiwi, but I want to eat a banana. Okay, so here I select on the carbs, but you can also do it on the proteins, like this, but I'm going to put back the carbs. And then what it's going to do is going to give me the quantity of this portion that I will need to eat. So for example, so here I select a banana, so here it's going to be 0.47 banana that I need to eat in order to get the same amount of carbs than in my kiwi here. Okay, so for example, I can select also 10 grams. Okay, and then it will tell me, okay, I need to eat 52 grams, 53 grams of my banana in order to get the same amount of carbs. Okay, so this is a quite useful tool also. And then here, the last tool, so tool number 5, is give me the if I want to say to eat only one food for each of my meal that I want to select or for my total day, then it will tell me which food I will need to eat if it's only one food. So for example, for my breakfast, I need 59 grams of protein, 71 grams of fat, and 14 grams of carbs. Okay, which is 937 calories. Then you know to match the best the this macro, I can eat only omelette with herbs, and I will need to eat 635 grams, and then this will be the matching with my macro. Okay, then you get ordered all the results for the best food if you want to eat only one food for your day. So here you can see like you got cheese, you got yogurt, goat milks, and here's the matching. Okay, so here's the meal split. So this will help you to define how you want to split your protein, fat, and carbs across your different meal. Okay, so you already need to get a total of 100 here. Volume. So this is for the to define the volumes for the different portion. So you can also select. So for example, you select one banana, and then you weight it, and then it will tell you. So you weight it. So maybe your banana weight 100, and then for the volume, you will need to put here not 120, but 105. Okay, so this is just to give you like equivalent volume weight for the different portion that you want to set up here. Okay, FX rate. So this is when you change the currency of your uh, of, uh, for the prices, and then here you get the food for the new food. So you can use, for example, ChatGPT, and then it will give you the uh, full list, full value for the different for the new food that you want to add to your to the list of food. Here's where you can define your favorite meals and then a recipe also that you can select into my optimal plate. Okay, so this is overview of how works my optimal plate. So again, um, I use it on a daily basis. I think it's very useful. You know, if you want to reach your goal and your macro meals, which is very important for the health, and then for yeah, if you want to lose fat or build muscle. Okay, if you have any question, reach me out on Instagram, and I hope you enjoyed this masterclass. Thank you.